When you enter the 36th chamber, does the Wu-Tang Clan start playing?
Yes, they do, actually. It's very cool. Jizza's there like, hey, you solved my puzzle. You solved my riddle.
Uncle Jizza!
Ray Kwan! Hey, and welcome to Video Game Podtimism. Do I say something different there normally? Why don't
you've stopped.
Yeah,
what's going on?
The hey felt weird. I don't it's a very regular thing to say to people. It's the Optimist Video Game Variety
Show. Hello usually.
Yeah, that may be it. Just a different greeting really threw me. It's the Optimist Video Game Variety Show where two best friends talk about the wonderful world of gaming. My name is Chase.
And my name is David.
Hey.
Chase, I think you had your business casual butt on.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why you said hey.
I got to switch into podcast mode.
Too cash. Yeah.
Too cash. Yeah. Hey, did you happen to see the little oopsie I made on Saturday?
I did.
Yeah. Accidentally just released an 11-second episode of Video Game Podtimism.
The 11 best seconds of pod that you've ever heard in your life.
Again, the reason that I did this is like a little inside baseball, but like our podcast hosting doesn't allow me to like set up the data for an episode prior to uploading just like some audio, which feels silly, but I usually just like use the intro clip of whatever that episode was. And I'm so happy that was the case and not like, I don't know, turbo fart sound or like
turbo fart
8 minutes every Sora a voice line in Kingdom Hearts 1 audio or something like that.
There you go.
There's some bravery to releasing just that. I feel like that would cause a few fans to unravel and be like, what does it mean? What are we saying here?
This is the start of the Podtimism ARG.
Yeah. You've got the clues. Solve the puzzle.
Mm-hmm. It's always been Sora the whole time.
Yeah, so if any of you were like, why did Podtimism come out on Saturday? That's why. It's because I released an episode and then I was looking at my phone and I was like, I reverted the episode to a draft and it still sure does look like it's up. And so like,
gotcha.
I'm just going to say fuck it and launch the whole thing right now so that I can be confident. Because what a strange way to start your Saturday.
The podcast is on the wrong day.
Yeah.
So either a special treat or it just really throws you off your rhythm for the week, and Chase has just now ruined your cadence for the week.
Yeah, everybody's having a terrible week because they're like, dude, I don't know, Podtimism on Saturday really doesn't hit right. I
didn't listen to it on Sunday, and then I didn't have anything to listen to on my way to work on Monday.
It's horrible. My week has been ruined. Yeah, no.
Comment on the Discord if Chase ruined your week because of that.
Yeah.
Let him know.
Do it, but like gentle, please. Don't hurt me. I made a mistake.
It happens.
It does. Honestly, I'm surprised I don't fuck it up more. Because like we've done
it's been like 240 something episodes.
That's what I'm saying.
The first time it's happened.
Yeah. The first time it's ever been released early. Although, I don't know, those first like 30, who knows what was going on. I don't know if I ever fucked up in there because it was like 10 of us listening. And then, obviously.
OGs only.
Yeah, for real. And I doubt Garen was like, oh, a Wednesday with Podtimism. Great. Amazing. But a consistent cadence for some reason is incredibly important. Mm-hmm. I see the numbers, y'all. If we put it out on a different day, it's weird. Everybody's like, no, I'm not listening to it now. It's very strange.
I mean, it makes sense. Like back in the day when television shows were aired on specific days, like the day it aired on made a big difference to its ratings.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if we're doing ourselves a disservice by releasing on the same day as Ira Glass with This American Life.
Ooh, wow. I mean, I didn't know we're up against Ira.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
That's a losing battle.
This week, we absolutely crush those little soft boys over on Video Game Podtimism. Sarah Koenig is going to investigate why they have no sauce and why they have no motion and negative aura. Stay with us.
Oh, I would never be able to recover if Ira said that about me. I would be devastated permanently.
Yeah, if Ira specifically said I have negative aura, I think that's it for me. I'm changing my name. I'm moving to, I don't know, Colorado and starting over.
I would have to super glue my grieving butt on. Just permanently
Forever.
Grieving.
Yeah, no,
permanently grieving.
The loss of character in that case, yeah.
The only way we could redeem ourselves is by going up against Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Changing the day we release and fight the good fight against Joe.
Yeah, we have to prove ourselves finally in the marketplace of ideas. Have you been playing video games, dude?
I have been. I have been, Chase.
I would love to hear about them.
I've been dabbling. I've been dabbling a lot ever since I beat 1,000 times Resist. I've just been dabbling in everything. So I have quite a few games to talk about. I'm not going to go too in depth, but I'll talk about quite a few.
Your sampler platter. I feel like every now and then we get a David appetizer, a platter here.
Yeah, we got some bloomin' onion in here. We got some molasses bread, probably from Black Angus.
Like a little bit of a baked potato.
Half a baked potato, maybe some jalapeno poppers.
Nice, yeah.
And probably some nachos in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my top appetizer, I think, personally.
Really, a nacho?
I love a nacho. Nacho is an appetizer. Nacho is a main course. Just nacho. Give me the nachos. I think is what it comes down to.
Yeah, it may just be the nacho ability of it all. I'm trying to think about what the top app is. That is such a hard question.
It's a good question, right?
Oh man. So my brain is, I worked at Chevy's Fresh Max for a couple of years, and like they did truly have a sampler platter of all their appetizers, and among them, the flautas were my favorite. I thought they were so good. The flautas.
A nice deep fried rolled taco.
Yeah, and they had what they called like a chipotle aioli on it, which I'm pretty sure was just like spicy mayonnaise. And it went down so right. So I don't know. I might go with the flauta personally.
I respect the shit out of that. If it didn't have the chipotle aioli, would you be down?
It's still a good dish. It still tastes great. Like the texture of it was really quality.
I hear you and I respect you.
But let me just give a quick shout out to bread. Just like I like
any kind of bread.
As a before I eat the stuff, just throw me some kind of bread and it really, really elevates my mood.
More than just like chips and dip.
See, I might be colored. I promise I'll talk about video games. I might be colored by the fact that Seattle charges for chips and salsa. Whereas it's a crime. I know, it's a crime.
Seattle, what is wrong with you?
In California, that is not a thing that they typically do.
Personally.
I know, it feels horrible. In California, this is not a thing that they do typically. Like usually, unless it's like a very specific...
that place would go out of business.
Yeah. If it's at like a specific place, maybe like a really, I don't know, high end isn't even the right word, but it's rare.
The competition is just too stiff out here for Mexican restaurants to not offer complimentary chips and salsa.
Yeah, so like I think I'm being colored by the fact that I have to pay like $8 for chips and salsa. So I don't know, but again, just my old friend some bread before a meal is really, really top notch.
I got you. Before I talk about my game, real quick shout out, runner up, calamari. Also, I love you.
Calamari, that is kind of a deep cut for an app, but I do appreciate the energy there. Yeah.
Always tempted by calamari if I see it on the menu.
Yeah.
Something about it. Anyways, what I've been playing this week.
Yeah.
Kind of an interesting segue into this game.
Please.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. For the PlayStation.
Okay. The Phantom Menace. What are you even playing this on?
I'm playing this on my PlayStation 5. It is on the PlayStation Plus Classics catalog. I would think that it's a stretch to call this game a classic.
Absolutely not. That's simply not true.
It is a classic in the same way that I think my soon-to-be 25-year-old car is going to be a classic technically next year. But there is nothing classic about it except its age.
I think it sold well, I think is what they're saying there. Because it was like on the quote-unquote greatest hits collection on the PlayStation.
It was? Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that.
I think it was just that kids were going bananas, going cuckoo for Obi-Wan and his good pals and Qui-Gon Jinn. Because it maybe you'll tell me otherwise, but I don't remember it being particularly amazing.
I played a lot of this game as a kid. I really wanted to play it because it was cool. Yeah. It was a cool game. They do a great job with the atmosphere of the game. They do a pretty good job with the voice acting and just kind of following the beats of the movie and just making all the levels feel and look good for like a representation of those scenes that you remember watching in the theater. So I think it does a great job of that as a movie tie-in game. But of course it's a movie tie-in game, so it has a lot of rough edges too. Namely the the way that you move, it's like the camera and your character are always moving in the same direction. So you move the control stick to the right, and it's like you're holding the camera and your camera is attached to the character and you move the camera to the right, and then they keep on moving that direction. It's like it's like the camera and your character are attached to each other.
Yeah.
So it makes it very confusing and difficult to move around. Why they decided to put platforming elements in this game, I do not know, but they did, and that's very difficult.
Yeah. I feel like every game had to have platforming at this time.
Yeah, they didn't know how to make a game without jumping bits.
Yeah.
And Jedis are known to be good jumpers.
They are
right?
jumpy,
That is a thing. They're jumpy folks. But it's not done too well in this game.
Yeah.
It was frustrating, and there would be times that I would have probably just stopped playing because I jumped, I missed the jump, and I'm down like 2 floors below from where I was, and I have to do all of it over again.
Yeah.
But thankfully, the PlayStation the PlayStation Classics catalog are emulators. So you just rewind and you just go back and try to jump again. Perfection.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Loved it. A+. Thank you, Sony, for doing that, because I would have stopped so much earlier if I had to redo all that madness again.
Yeah. I feel like that's like, if you're going to add games like this, I feel like it's a requirement of like, I really need to be able to sand off some of this difficulty. Cause like, especially in something where it's part of a subscription, I don't need this game to be artificially lengthened like it was back in the day. Which is through its difficulty, right? Like I think pretty clearly that's what it's doing is just like, let's make this really hard and make you have to go back really far to make sure that this game like is long enough. And I just don't need that.
You don't need it.
No, not in this case where it's like a game that I might play for like 2 hours. I would much prefer to like make progress or just like have more forgiving checkpoints than
absolutely
have to do the whole thing over again and be like an expert at Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace for PlayStation 1.
Exactly, right? Doing a no-hit playthrough on my Twitch channel, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that part is frustrating. And also the other frustrating part about the platforming is that you have a double jump, but it's not actually a double jump. It's like a jump and then you flip in the air and then makes you go like a little bit further, but you don't get any height, which is very confusing. You just like jump and then your guy does a little front flip. Yeah. Obi-Wan does a little front flip and you go just like a hair further, right?
Interesting. Yeah. So it's like a glide more than another jump.
It's almost like a horizontal double jump. It's strange. Horizontal. Yeah. It's like you're almost like rolling in the air is really more what it's like.
Yeah.
Which is strange. It's a hard concept to grasp when you start playing this game. Things it did well though. I did really enjoy the lightsaber deflecting the blaster bolts in this game. I thought it was actually done pretty well. You actually have to kind of aim where you are deflecting the bullets back. And it felt like this very dangerous game of baseball, which was kind of fun. Baseball / dodgeball sort of deal. Yeah. And so especially like when you're just going up against like 10 droids and they're all just blasting the hell out of you and they just see all these blaster bolts coming, you're just deflecting them back, just knocking them down all at the same time. You just feel very powerful Jedi man. It's great. That part is really well done, actually.
I feel a lot of Star Wars games do that, where they try and make that specific thing feel good. Yeah. And a lot of them, I will say, kind of succeed. Like they get pretty close a lot of the time.
I agree. Yeah.
I just wonder if it's the power fantasy of like, your gun sucks. It's not nearly as good as this fucking sword I have.
Yeah, this sword is cooler than your gun, which I think is really what everybody kind of wants to go back to.
A little bit, yeah. Like, could I just be the space samurai again? Is that possible?
It's here. It's in this game. Yeah. It does well. So yeah, very well done levels as far as like how they look and making it feel like the movie. Good saber play, I guess you could call it. Huh, yeah. But but the rest of it leaves them to desire, especially the platforming.
That is not a game that I would have predicted you brought today. Not even close.
Deep cut. I saw it on there and I just had to touch.
Had to fire it up. Yeah.
Also very topical with how the game starts off with
fucking tariffs.
About how the taxation of trade routes has really just upended the world. And now that I did not understand that at all in the movie. I'm like, okay, so now the Trade Federation is actually invading Naboo because of all this. Wow. Okay. It's real. It's real out here.
The next Star Wars is going to start with the Trade Federation has imposed strict tariffs on the Nintendo Switch 3, and gamers around Earth have tried to rise up against it.
Gamers rise up.
Oh my God.
I mean, if there's one thing that gamers could do to like make up, not make up everything they've done, but to just like maybe start getting on the right track of rightness, that could be a good one. That could be a good one.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll trust him when I see it. I need you guys to
True enough.
Put up a few more points on the scoreboard before I'm taking anything.
We'll believe it when we see it, I guess is what we're saying.
Uh-huh.
I've also been playing Persona 3 Reloaded still.
Okay, great. Yeah.
I don't know what I am waiting for. I don't know what is going on right now. I don't know if I'm doing things correctly or incorrectly. And Mallory watches me play this game and she's like, oh, you're playing that game where you just hang out in lobbies again. Cool. I'm like, that is kind of what this game is for me right now. I'm not totally mad about it, but I'm very confused as to whether or not I am messing something up or if I am just supposed to be hanging out, building my social links and waiting for something that's taking quite some time to happen in this world before I can start going up Tartarus again.
Let me soothe your soul, David.
Yes.
So currently, is there like one of those like countdown timers that the game has let you know about? Like something is coming in this amount of time?
No.
Okay. But you have gotten to the part of Tartarus where they're like, we can't go any farther.
There's blocks. There's 2 blocks. And they're like, sorry, bro, these blocks are unpassable. Yeah. Even though they come up to my chest.
I've only got a double jump that moves me horizontally. I can't get up there.
I'm actually Obi-Wan Kenobi. I only got horizontal double jumps.
But you are at that part. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then, just keep vibing and like
hold steady.
Out. Yes.
Okay.
I do wish they communicated a little bit more, and they will after this instance, like after this time, they'll be more clear with like what your deadline is. But yeah, essentially the rhythm of the game is that you will have to like get up to many of these places in Tartarus over and over. Like you'll just have to get to these points where they won't let you go any farther. And that's like the point where you can say, all right, for the next X amount of time, I can just chill.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's essentially like a metaphor where like if I beat a dungeon quickly before the countdown timer finished, then I could just go around doing things.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Got it. I'm good.
We're good. You can just chill for a little while, because I agree that like I also get a little like freaked out when I'm like, am I fucking this up so bad right now by just hanging out?
I'm just like, am I gonna like soft lock my game right now because I just didn't know how to Persona?
Yeah, no, I think you're fine. I think it would ruin a little bit of what's going on, but you could search like a walkthrough and be like, what are the dates?
I know, I didn't want to search.
Yeah. Do you know what day you're on in that game?
Oh, no, I do not. I do not. The 11th? I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
It was just Golden Week. How about that? Do you know what that means? Where you get like some time off of school.
Yeah.
To play your online video games.
Yes. And like your friend on there is like, absolutely. It's very obvious who it is.
Oh, I have no idea who it is.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe you've only played like one round with them. Like the farther it goes on, it's very clear what's happening.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what's going on. Now I'm curious, because they knew it was a nice day outside, which was kind of creepy. They're like, what are the two of us doing in here on this beautiful day outside? I'm like, how do you know that it's a beautiful day where I am, internet person?
Yeah.
Do you know me? IRL. My worst nightmare.
Okay, yeah. May 9th is when shit will start. You're on like May 5th right now.
Okay, I'm probably pretty close.
You're very close to like things actually starting to happen. And again, like I think the thing that I did that I think would probably work just fine is like this kind of rhythm will come up again where it's like, okay, we did one thing and more of Tartarus opened up. Usually what I'll do is just slam through Tartarus, like for a little while, just like
it's slammable.
Yeah. Crush and try and get to like the next like threshold that they have you at. Because then you can just go back and chill for a while. I'm sure other people play differently, but that's how I did it. Just so I'm like, all right, I know
that's how you like to play these games.
Yeah,
you're there for the friends,
for sure. Yeah, that's definitely the stuff about it. So yeah, hopefully this will soothe your soul and make you a little bit less freaked out.
Thank you. I'm going to continue playing this then, because now that I know I'm a little close, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're very near when like the plot starts happening.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Like 20 hours in.
Yeah. It's very, very Atlas of them.
I'm fine with that so long as the first 20 hours are fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I think Metaphor was a little bit better about this stuff. I feel like it got you into the loop of it very quickly. Whereas I think Persona, it doesn't assume a certain amount of knowledge, but like you're in the loop of the game quickly, but you're not necessarily told like, here's what is expected of you. So I don't know which one works, but I think you're close to this all being understandable.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
To be continued with Persona 3. Thank you for soothing my soul.
You're very welcome. I want everybody to play Persona, so.
I know. Cat Quest 3, still playing it. It's still fun.
Yeah.
The different areas you go to all have fun little changes to the ambiance, the atmosphere of the game, which are really great.
Yeah.
Cthulhu is a continuing gag in this game, which is always great.
That's cool.
It's like a little secret boss fight you can go, and it just kicks your ass for a bit, but always very fun. It has a good bozo list in this game. There are some bozos out there that have some bounties on them. You go and find them and take them down.
Yeah.
Always a good little dungeon crawl to get to them.
Yeah, that's cool.
So appreciate that. Also, shout out to Mama Milka.
Huh. Yeah.
She is a big old buff lady cat who owns the tavern. You were talking about Dommy Mommies earlier before we started the pod.
Whoa,
for all you listeners out there.
Let's be careful here.
That is what Chase was talking about before the pod. And I was like, oh, I got something for you then, my friend.
Yeah. That is a jacked cat. She's gigantic. Jesus.
Yeah. She runs the pub where they
tavern,
sell milk.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So she's a fun character, and she's the one who runs the bozo list in the game.
That's cool. A bozo list for anybody who's very new here is like a hit list, I guess.
Yeah. We were just talking about how it's sad that the Nemesis system is gone. It's just like bozo list is in. Bozo is the new Nemesis.
Absolutely. We need something new. Take it back for the people.
Mm-hmm. Also, I've been playing Harvest Moon.
Okay. Holy shit. Which one?
The one on the PlayStation that's on the PlayStation Classics catalog.
Yeah. I don't know that I've played very many Harvest Moon games.
Back to Nature. It's this one. Has the happy cow and a dog. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely haven't played this one. It's bizarre because I'm such a Stardew person. But like Harvest Moon has never really grasped me in the way that Stardew did. How are you finding this one?
I am finding it in that I have constantly been searching for the farming game that is going to click for me. Yeah. I've tried Stardew. Didn't work for me. I know it's not farming in particular, but Animal Crossing, same thing, just hasn't clicked for me quite yet.
The life sim,
and I was like,
it all.
The life sim, and then I decided I'm going to try Harvest Moon, like the OG, as far as in my mind, what for a farming sim. And I really was enjoying it, and it had a great exposition, had an interesting, a lot more story going on in the background than I thought there was going to be. But then all of a sudden, as with most farming games, I just kind of hit a wall. I just kind of hit a wall. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Does it want me to like clear out more of my farm? How do I make money? Is like this lumber I'm putting in this box that this jacked man comes at the end of the day and takes, giving me enough money to like sustain my farm? Should I be going to find this child who's lost in the mountains because her family owns the chicken farm, and maybe they'll give me a chicken if I find her, but I don't know where she is in the mountains. It's like I can't find her at all. I've looked over this whole mountain. I've gotten to the top of this mountain, and this child is nowhere to be found. And this guy, you just walk in on him and his sister having an argument. He yells at her, she cries, and she runs away. And he's like, "Can you go find my sister? She's just gonna run away from me again if I go and find her."
And you scale Everest about it, and you're like, I can't find her.
I can't find this kid. I can't find her. Also, dude, like, stop being an asshole and just go find your sister and say you're sorry. Yeah, it's been days she has been out there. I feel like I need to start like telling the police officer in town that this kid might be toasted. But yeah, it is fun. I really got into a groove with my scythe, just taking out all the grass, all the grass that doesn't need to be there. My scythe, my like sledgehammer, and my axe. Those are the things that I was really getting into a groove with, just going up and down my plot of land, just clearing it all out. And then once I got there, I'm like, okay, what do I buy? And they're very unclear about whether or not the seeds I was buying were going to be good. And I bought like enough seeds to just do 2 small little plots, like squares of land. Yeah. And I have like 100 maybe that I can use. And like, that's all the money I have. I'm just waiting for these potatoes to grow. So I just, once again, I'm just a little lost. So maybe I need to look up a Harvest Moon playthrough guide, which sounds a little ridiculous, but just see what's going on, see what's good. Yeah. It's fun. I enjoy the town. The town's cool. Yeah. I like that. I like the dog. It's a good dog. You get to name your dog.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I appreciate. I appreciate that.
It's I feel like a lot of these games do start very slow like that. Like Stardew is very typical in the same way of like you have so few crops at the beginning.
Yeah.
That like part of the fun is growing like 4 tomatoes and then selling them to buy 8 seeds or whatever, and then kind of just like gets exponential like that. I don't know if that's how this Harvest Moon works, but like that's how Stardew and a lot of other the kind of like life sim farming stuff, they'll start you incredibly slow most of the time. So it's possible that that's just part of it is the slow start of it all. It's interesting you mentioned the story stuff because like I think this and like Story of Seasons, which I think just is Harvest Moon under a different name, and God, what is there? There's another one. Rune Factory is another game that's kind of similar in that story plays a much bigger role in those games than I think like quote unquote traditional at this point. Traditional is not the right word because like these ones are they're older than like
modern.
Stardew. Yeah, I think the modern games, like they don't give you quite as much story. Or if they do, it's like it makes the game slightly more linear. I'm thinking of, oh God, what was that game? Like Potion Craft or something? Not Potionomics, but Potion Permit is the game I'm thinking of. It was like kind of like
potion games, my goodness.
Yeah, but both of them kind of rocked. I like both those games. But that one's like, it is slightly smaller in scope because it is trying to do like specific story stuff compared to like, I played this game a little while ago called Traveler's Rest, which like actually does have a fair amount of story, but it's very much like you're just kind of doing your farming stuff.
Sure.
Whereas like, I do think like Story of Seasons and what I've played of Rune Factory especially is like, there's a lot of story in there. And so I wonder if that's just something that like you want out of these kind of games. It's just like, I need some narrative hooks, you know?
I think so. Once they started giving me a little backstory into who Davy is, I was starting to get more engaged with the game. I want to keep on poking at this one. There's something here that I feel like resonates with me a bit more than some of the more modern games. And then if that's true, maybe I'll try out some of those other ones that are Harvest Moon likes.
Yeah.
Just sanding off some of the rougher edges of this game. But it's a very endearing game. It's very cute. It's a very cozy game. They do a good rain effect in this game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out more. And you get a pony pretty quick.
Ooh, yeah, I love that.
You get a pony for free. This person's just like, we don't have room for this pony. Do you want the pony? Just take good care of it. I'm just like, yeah, I want this pony.
Free horse, bro. Yes.
Free horse. Dude, horses are fucking expensive. I should just sell this horse. I should just sell this horse. But the horse is fun because they're like, you have to go on every day and tell it that you love it. And then if it's raining, you have to make sure you bring it in and you have to brush it. I'm just like, I am here for horse buddy simulator. Yeah, this is fun. This is good gaming.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's Harvest Moon.
Yes, it is.
Last one. I'm back into Indianapolis Jones and the Great Circle.
Oh yeah, sure enough. How long is this game? Do you know?
I have no idea. I think I've just gotten through like the second act. I've gotten through Egypt. I've done Egypt now.
Okay. All right.
And now I'm in the Himalayas. But Egypt was great. Egypt was a very fun portion of the game. Lots of just crawling through tombs, hanging out with mummies, being in the desert, knocking down Nazis. Yeah, because now it's a very funny hierarchy of like douchebag that this game has. Because when you're in the Vatican, there's fascists, right? And you can knock one of those guys out with one like fully wound up haymaker from Indiana.
Okay, yeah.
The Nazis, they take two. They take two punches baseline. So that's a stronger bastard than a fascist, right? So there's a very clear power scaling that's going on here from Machine Games. And I just also really appreciate the Machine Games is just like making a name for themselves, being just like the Nazi bashing developer, the Nazi fucker. The Nazi fucker developers. Yeah. With, of course, because they did the Wolfenstein games. Yeah. And now they're doing this one. And it's really making me curious as to what they will do next, because there's some fertile grounds for Nazi games nowadays. Yeah. This game's really fun. In Egypt, you're in Giza and you're like going through the Sphinx, you're going into pyramids. It's really a great experience. Yeah. And then you also have the town of Giza itself, which is just very well done. Just the markets feel so alive, and the colors kind of pop in this area against, the stark yellowness of the desert in the background. Yeah. Really great. And that also gets a little spooky in this section.
Yeah.
Gets a little spooky. And the spookiness is very well done. It never goes full on like supernatural.
Yeah.
But just gets a little tomb spooky-ish, which was well done.
Yeah.
Also scorpions. Scorpions are bad. Scorpions will fuck you up in this game, which is also, I think, accurate. Yeah. They do a good job of making Indiana Jones feel like a human man who is doing these things. I'm like, yeah, if there was like 100 scorpions coming at me, I don't know what the fuck I would do. Those guys will end me. Absolutely.
Yeah, it would
absolutely
suck.
End me.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very well done game. Great exploration. The whip's great. And I just love the knuckle duster dens, which are the underground fighting rings that you can go to. Just bare knuckle brawling the way that grandpa used to do it. Just two dudes in a ring. And you just, once again, just get to bash on some fascists and some Nazis. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
You know I love a Coliseum. So
it's Coliseum-esque.
Yeah.
It's Coliseum-esque, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's a very fun game. So yeah. It's a good it's a good, even just, it's not too actiony either. So it's a good late night game too, if you just want to go and solve a puzzle or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done. Wow. Well done game.
Well done game. Love that.
That's everything I've been playing, Chase.
Okay, cool.
Thank you for coming to my smorgasbord this week.
Yeah, good appetizers. Loved those. I was a big fan of the wild cards, the ones I was not expecting.
Star Wars and Harvest Moon?
Yeah, I think so. I think those are the two.
They're good wild cards. Good wild cards.
That's true.
I like surprising you. It's fun time.
I like being surprised. It's a good form of surprise. I like it.
All right, Chase, what have you been playing?
I got two things for you, David. The first is almost certainly going to be a little bit shorter, but it is this game called Witching Stone.
Okay.
Which is what is this? Like kind of Bejeweled almost roguelike.
Interesting.
Where you are this person, this like witch, and you show up to like it's kind of Slay the Spire in the sense that you're like traversing this like map of little points that you go to. And when you get there, you engage in a fight, and it's very like similar to Slay the Spire in that an enemy will sort of be like telling you what they're going to do on their turn. Like they have a little sword over their head with a 3 or something. It's like they're going to hit me for 3 damage, or they're going to block or whatever. And you have this like, I think it's like 4x5 grid in the middle of your screen of all these little like stones, and on the sides of 4x3 actually, I got that. And on the sides of them there are your spells, and essentially what you're trying to do is each of those spells have like a gem combo that you're trying to use. So it's like 1 red gem, then 2 blue ones will cast like an attack spell or something, or all like 4 purple ones in a row will deal 3 damage to all enemies or something like that. So what you're trying to do is like find a line in those gems from like one to the next that will cast a bunch of your spells on the enemy, but you can only click so many gems. It's like you have like kind of energy that will allow you to click like, oh, I didn't do very much last turn, so now I have an extra 2 or something. So I have 6 like gems that I can select this turn. And so I think like the fun of this game, that's just like an interesting pitch for a game. Like the concept is novel, and it's very fun. Like I feel like I rarely see riffs on like a Bejeweled sort of thing. But also, it's got, all the kind of trappings of a good roguelike where and specifically Slay the Spire. I think it's definitely inspired by that, by that. But I think that the fun of the game is, like a lot of these games, crafting your build and trying to figure out like, okay, which of these spells go well together? Because if you do like a bunch of lines of these jewels and catch like a couple different kinds of gems in there, it's possible to trigger like more than one spell at a time. And so like what you're trying to do is just like make a good combo that will work in a bunch of different situations and like, trigger a bunch of stuff rather than like these 2-3 disparate spells that don't work very well together.
Am I crazy to say that this reminds me of Puzzle and Dragons?
No, I think it's similar. There's not as much dragging of like the jewels in that way, but like it's a similar concept of like you're trying to like just get jewels in the right spot to be able to
shout out to Garen, Puzzle and Dragons.
Yeah, true. That game was wild. I really liked Puzzles and Dragons.
It's an Android game for anybody wondering where you solve puzzles and your big dragon monster attacks things on screen when you do that.
Yeah, it was fun. I really liked that one.
Probably still is fun. It probably still exists.
Oh, yeah, it's almost certainly true. I think like we looked this up recently and it still is like one of the top earners in all mobile games somehow.
I believe it. I was hooked on this game for a while. Probably, a decade ago now, probably, when I was really big on it.
At least. But yeah, I don't know. I just found this a very like simple but fun video game. It's got this kind of like almost 90s anime look to the characters, which I find very charming. And, you know, you can unlock a bunch of different classes and all of them have different spells and, you know, all yada, yada, yada. You've played a roguelike before, you get it. But yeah, I thought it was really cool and really novel in a way that I kind of wasn't expecting. They also have a demo. So like if you want to check it out, like I would really recommend giving it a try. It's also like not horribly expensive. So yeah, it's Witching Stone. I think I heard about this on Girl Mode at some point, but I can't remember when that was. If I had to guess, that was probably Robin who brought that up because she's also a deck building roguelike fanatic. So hell yeah. I think shout out to Robin. Who knows?
Potential shout out.
Potential, yeah. A possible shout out. However, the thing that is occupying most of my time now is a game called Blueprints, David.
Ah, I've heard about this one.
Yes, Blueprints. It's sort of that hot new right now.
Yes.
I would be willing to guess, given that this comes out on Sunday, there will at least be one other TWG network podcast that has already brought up Blueprints. It's just kind of in the zeitgeist right now. And I think part of that is that there have been a lot of like best game of the year so far kind of things. I know Jason Schreier was like, this is one of the best games I've ever played.
Wow.
And so yeah, there's like a lot of praise being heaped on it. And not to like spoil the lead, I think I understand where most people are coming from, but I also get the sense that like to really know this game is to beat it. And I haven't done that yet. So like I do want to hold off on fully judging it until it is like totally done. But let me start here. It is a game that is hard to talk about because I think the joy of it is the surprise. A lot of the game, it does not tell you immediately what is really cool about it. And you, I think, are supposed to discover that. And the best I can say is that it is cool to discover the things it wants you to discover.
Gotcha.
That is really
the things
neat.
that are discovered are cool.
Let me also start with this specifically directed at you. They don't have a colorblind mode yet. And color is critical in this video game. So like for you,
I panicked a little bit the other day when Indiana Jones like the wall is painted red. That's where you need to go. I'm like, oh God,
which one? Yeah.
What am I going to do?
So like, it's a little disappointing they haven't figured that out yet. And like, you know, why make this problem for yourself? There are ways around it, but like it is both a part of the puzzles and the narrative. And so like, it is a big part of it right now. So like maybe temper your excitement for the moment being, and anybody else who is colorblind. Cause like it is sort of like not in a state right now where I would recommend playing it if you are colorblind.
Gotcha. Just got to warm my eyes up beforehand.
Yeah, get them ready to roll, or hopefully they just put out an actual colorblind mode. I sort of suspect that they will, because that's a pretty public sort of complaint, or I guess expectation is probably the better word there right now.
Yeah. What colors?
Red, blue. Red, blue are the biggest problems.
Red and blue.
Yeah.
Okay. Usually red and green are the worst for me, but definitely some reds and blues can get close as well.
Yeah. I mean, like green, I'll explain what I mean here, but like there are colors to some of the rooms that you can go into, and their colors matter pretty frequently.
Gotcha.
So let me kind of explain what this game is. This is a recent release from, I think it's Dagubomb is the way to pronounce it. This is a roguelike puzzle game, which I'm not sure I've played too many of those other than the Outer Wilds. Like that's pretty much it, because I feel like most times puzzle games are intentionally very linear, right? Like, or not directly linear, but like the moment you know the answer to a puzzle should be the moment that you solve it, typically. And so like a roguelike is kind of a hard architecture to wrap around a puzzle game. And I think Outer Wilds gets around that in the sense that like once you know the solution, even if you have to start over, you can get back to where you were pretty quickly. And so it's not quite as much of a slog to get there, because it's like, well, I know where I need to go and what I need to do. And so like the thing that takes time is figuring those things out. And so like, so what if I have to go reset it? I can just go get there really quickly. But yeah, so that's all to say this is also a roguelike puzzle game. And the pitch of it is that you are the nephew of this like kind of well-to-do landowning, I wouldn't say baron, there's a better name for it, but like a high society dude who has recently died.
An aristocrat.
Yeah. I think that's a good word for it. And he's died and said, hey, nobody can inherit my estate. The only person who can is my nephew, but he has to go and solve this puzzle that I've left for him. If he doesn't solve it, he doesn't get my estate.
Whoa.
And part of his estate is that it is this gigantic like manor named Holly Manor. And it is a place where day to day, the rooms completely change their location. And so like when you enter into it, it is a different layout than it used to be. So like, and you as a person will get to choose what the layout is. Mechanically, what that means is that every day the house resets and you get to like draft the house again. Specifically, what that means is that when you walk in, there's like a entrance chamber and there are 3 doors, one in front of you, one to the right, and one to the left. And whenever you click on a door, it shows you like 3 options for what the next room could be. What like kind of what you want to do there. Very Betrayal at House on the Hill or whatever, where like you are placing down very like little tiles one at a time. And so in that way, it's very board gamey, which I think is very fun. And each of those rooms also has very specific amount of exits and entrances. Some of them are dead ends. Some of them, you know, only have a center door and a left door. And there is this grid that you're working up, like essentially the entirety of the house. It's like kind of lengthy, tall, top to bottom. It's like, I think 11 squares tall or something like that. And then 5 wide. And so your first goal in this game, as your uncle says, is like, I need you to, or there are 2 goals or 2 puzzles you have to solve. One is that supposedly there are 45 chambers in this house, but some have hinted that there might be a 46th, and I want you to find that one. The other is that at the very top, there is this place called the antechamber that I need you to get into, but the doors to it are always sealed, so you have to figure out how to open it up. And so those are really the things that you are trying to drive towards.
When you enter the 36th chamber, does the Wu-Tang Clan start playing?
Yes, they do, actually. It's very cool. Just as they're like, hey, you solved my puzzle. You solved my riddle.
Uncle Jizza, what are you doing here?
Ray Kwan, how did you get in this room? I would love it if there was actually like a Wu-Tang drop somewhere in here. That would be sick as hell.
It's a little bit in the background. Doesn't have to be a big thing, right?
Yeah. It's like played at like 10% volume just for the real ones to be able to hear it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the process of the game is essentially you just working through these rooms, trying to go what is essentially north, and the kind of trials and tribulations that comes with, because sometimes a door will be locked and you need to find keys. Most of the keys will unlock any door. Some of them won't. And so you kind of need to figure out, where do I get that specific key? And some rooms, when you're drafting them, will cost gems. And typically that means that room does something more interesting. There is just like some mechanic in there that is valuable to you. And you just can find gems along the way, either by like solving puzzles, or some rooms just have gems in them. Or like, you know, typically it's like if there's a room that is a dead end, oftentimes it will come with something cool. Like there might be some money or some gems in there or something like that. So all of that to say, I don't want to really speak too much more on it, because I think, again, the discovery is the fun. And I would also really recommend, like, don't search for guides if you're going to play this game, because like the puzzles are set up in a way that like you can come at a problem from like a bunch of different ways. And so to solve one problem is probably solving about 5 other ones too. And so you might kind of ruin some of the surprise for yourself if you're like, I just want to know this answer, but it also gives you like 100 other answers too. So yeah, I think like it is an extremely playable game. I will say that. Like it's one that you definitely need like a notepad next to you to kind of be like jotting down kind of thoughts or like dates or important bits of information that you're like, I bet I'm going to need that pretty soon, or anything like that. That it's just really helpful to do that. And I think that there's like, I'm typically not a fan of these games, or at least they don't really speak to me of the like, I need to take notes, because it feels like I'm just here to play a video game, man. Like I don't want to have to bring a pad and paper into it. But I think Blueprints is just like, it is fun in that way. I think there is so much information all the time that I'm like, I don't know if I need this, but I do want to write it down. And I think the puzzles are really fun in that, like, I usually don't have to like look up the history of Austria to like solve a specific puzzle. It's like, once you get all the pieces, it's pretty often that I'm like, okay, let me just think about this for a little while. And then like kind of a bolt of lightning will strike and be like, oh my God, I know what to do, you know?
Sure.
And so that experience I find really fun. I think one of the kind of criticisms of the game that I also definitely feel when I'm playing it is that there will be some times where I think I know what to do, Like there's something that I would like to do in the game, but like the RNG of the roguelike of it all simply doesn't allow for that to happen. And I really have to like try to do the thing that I know I need to do, but just hasn't really worked out in my favor yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so that can be frustrating, right? Of like, I need to get into this one room and I drafted just a shitty hand and I can't get in there this run, you know, like it's just not an option.
Not happening.
And yeah. And so like that is a frustrating experience, but I will say it's also very roguelike-y, you know, like when I'm playing Hades, there were many runs where I got so close to beating it. And I was like, if I had just drafted this other item, I definitely would have done it, you know? And it feels kind of similar to that. And so I think when going into it, I had to have a little bit more of a relaxed mindset of like, you know what, if I don't get it, I don't get it. I'll just try like a different approach to these puzzles, you know? All that to say, like, I think that there is a mindset that this game can be very satisfying in, but I think it does its best to offset some of that frustration by having like 5 or 6 things simmering that you like are thinking like, okay, here's a puzzle that I could solve, or here's another thing that I've been thinking about for a while, or here's this other thing that I haven't really found an answer to and I don't think I know it yet, but what if I like got this room and was able to do this thing? So like there's a lot of things that aren't exactly the one problem you're trying to solve most of the time that you can be like, all right, well, maybe I didn't make it to that spot, but like, what else can I do in this run? And so I think that like, it can be satisfying, but if you are somebody who's like really attached to other forms of puzzle games, I'm thinking kind of like of Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, or like Myst even, where like you're looking at the puzzle and you solve it and you immediately move on, right? Like that is the experience of, I think, most puzzle games, that like there's a world where this would be a frustrating one, where like just kind of going through the motions of like, I've done this room 10 times already and like, I'm not getting anywhere. That I understand why that would be a frustrating thing, but I think just like me being able to kind of let Jesus take the wheel a little bit with some of that, like it does make it more satisfying for me.
Sure.
So yeah, it's again, I wish I could sing its praises completely, but to do that, I think I would ruin some of what makes it very cool.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, I think the thing that is cool about it is that you often think you know what the game is, and that is oftentimes not correct. And that is a fun experience to be like, oh wow, I didn't think this was in here, you know? And like it happens a lot. And so I'm just appreciative of the game doing that. And again, just like I think that the puzzle design is really clever in that I'm a person who when I fire up a puzzle video game, I'm like, I'm never gonna figure it out, man. I'm too much of a bingus to get this going.
You gotta take your bingus hat off. That's the trick.
I mean, that is definitely the answer, but also I think the game is structured in a way that like there's probably 5 pieces of a puzzle mentally that are available, and you can probably solve it with like 2 or 3. And like, but once you get it, it's like, oh my God, okay, perfect. I know I have enough information to solve this. Whereas like, I'm sure somebody could stare at the puzzle for a long time and be like, I think I know what to do here. Or you can, like, there's plenty you can just brute force too, but like that would just take forever. But I have typically felt that I know when I am ready to solve a puzzle and when I'm like, I should just walk away from this one right now because I don't think I have enough information.
Sure.
Which is a hard line for me and something that like I'm really relieved that they're able to communicate how.
Yeah.
You know,
move on.
Yeah, move on. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I am very much going to hold off on calling it one of the best games I've ever played until I beat it. Because again, I think something that the surprise is the fun, and I don't think I've experienced every surprise that this game has to offer.
Yeah.
But I'm having a great time regardless. I will also say I have seen some pretty insane play times for people that they're like, here's how long I played this game. And I'm like, I'm not even close to that, man. So like, what is this game holding that I don't know?
Like how long?
Like 100 hours is what some people say. And I'm like maybe 10 in right now. And I'm like, I feel like I'm getting pretty close to beating the game.
You haven't even gotten to the Wu-Tang portion yet, dude.
Yeah, no, the Wu-Tang room is still, it eludes me.
That's like 20 hours in and of itself.
Thanks, Uncle Jizza.
It's a cursed sentence.
It is, isn't it? Anyway, David, let me just put a hat on, or a little cap on that one. I'm enjoying the game, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Nice.
Anyway, David, this will bring me to my Podtimistic thing of the week,
which is
it's puzzles in games. Shockingly,
puzzles in games. Yeah, absolutely.
A hard thing to do, I will say.
Yeah.
Usually bad. I would say like most video game puzzles are some variation of we're just going to make this take a while and that's the puzzle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think there's some good ones out there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, a game like Lorelei is like the whole thing is designed around a puzzle. So like that's very satisfying unto itself.
Yeah.
But like I'm even an appreciator of the like you've got a room full of ice on a grid and if you step onto it, you immediately slide to the opposite side of the ice, that kind of thing. I think you see that in like Pokemon and stuff. I appreciate that puzzle. It's not too bad. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me just give a quick Podtimistic. Zelda, I don't want to move blocks anymore. I think moving blocks is not a very good puzzle.
I had to move block in Star Wars Phantom episode 1.
Yes, yeah.
That was puzzle.
I don't think that's a particularly good puzzle. That's just kind of like, how long would you like to be in this room?
It's manual labor through a video game.
Yes, yeah. I'm doing labor right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like that one's not, you got to add a little bit of extra something in there, you know? Or like even the idea, I'm still playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. Even the idea that like a puzzle could be, how do I not be seen in this level right now?
Yeah.
That's cool too. I like that as well. It's a spice you got to be careful with how you wield because a bad puzzle really stinks.
I'd say it's just it's so hard to grade a puzzle.
Yeah.
Right? Either it is like super easy and basic, or it is sometimes so hard and ungrokkable that it's just an insurmountable task for, you know, the lay gamer to go through, right? So I think it works better in games that are really focused around puzzles. It doesn't work as well in games where it's puzzles are just like one aspect of it, or it's just like, hey, we just decided to do a puzzle in this area for God knows what reason.
Yeah.
Those are usually not so good. But yeah, like probably the Blueprints, probably Lorelei Laser Eyes. I've never played either of those. Escape Academy, I have played that one. Great puzzles. Good game. The Witness, I think that's what that game was called.
It was,
good puzzle, hard but good puzzles, right?
I don't think I knew that you played The Witness.
I played it for a hot second. I did not beat it, but I had fun playing the bits that I did play.
Wow.
So yeah, I think it's hard to do a good puzzle in a game. It's hard.
Yeah. You have to like level set so much with like getting people enough information, but not like leading them completely to the answer, you know?
Exactly.
Which I think is why games like Blueprints and then Lorelei especially too is like, let's provide you with some very basic things that do exist in real life, like a periodic table or like a star chart or something like that. And they're like, all right, now let's build a puzzle on that now that you like have the like periodic table in front of you or whatever. That stuff's very fun.
Absolutely. That's cool. I like that.
Do you have something fueling your sense of optimism, David?
Yeah, it's a good use of immersive first-person camera perspective.
Yeah, tell me more.
Indiana Jones does this very well.
Yeah.
With Indiana Jones, like changing into different costumes. And then when he puts on his costume, they always make a show of like him looking at his hat, dusting it off and putting it back on his head. That's fun. There is a portion, especially in Egypt, they did a really good job with it. He falls through a crack and then tumbles down into a tomb. And then he's just tumbling end over end and then gets to the bottom and there's just dust. He's like blinking. So he goes dark and then it goes light. And then you look up and there's just like a small little light where you fell from. And you just see it just like coming through the dust and like the rubble of what you just fell through. And it was very well done. Yeah, they make great use of it in this level, and they also play with light a lot in the tombs. There's one specific like mini little boss battle that does really great use of the first person perspective and making it kind of spooky.
Yeah,
but I always love it in a game when they do first person well, like Metroid Prime.
Yeah, I was gonna say Prime is the
Cyberpunk. Outer Wilds, I think, did a good job. And even like Subnautica or Star Wars Squadrons, they all did good jobs with just making it really feel like you're there, you know? There's something to be said about a first-person perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, and like Subnautica where like the edges of your HUD will kind of like freeze up a little bit when it gets too cold and shit. It's very good.
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's cool. I love that.
Yeah.
You want to move on to the main thing though?
Let's go to the main course.
Okay, great. I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good games. It's a segment where we talk about the okayest games of yesteryear and gush all the things that we love about them.
That was the lowest energy, hey, it's good games ever, I think.
I was trying to convey a certain amount of like, let's just speak truth right now. It's good games, okay?
It is good games today.
Like, let's not beat around the bush. Segment where we talk about the okayest games of yesteryear. We got suggested to play a game called Kuru Kuru Kururin. And two people had actually suggested this to us. The first was Guardian,
really?
Who had suggested that we play, I think it was, there's another version of it.
This is a series?
There's 3 of them. We only got the one over here.
The GBA one.
Yeah, Squash was the one that I think Guardian had suggested we play.
Like the game Squash?
No, Kuru Kuru Kururin Squash was the full title there.
Huh.
Yeah, on the topic of this game, Guardian had to say, got this game on a whim during a huge Play Asia sale a long time ago. Single player was okay, but it immediately became a local 3-player or 4-player staple, both with casual gaming friends and at my local fighting game tournaments. Have rarely ever encountered someone that hasn't liked this game, even when losing during a tournament. I've also rarely encountered someone who hasn't unconsciously screamed profanity while playing. Once took this to a gaming convention, spent hours playing it with strangers who would ask what it is, and I would hand them the controller. Within minutes, me, a kind of new friend, and two complete strangers would be screaming and yelling and laughing like we'd known each other for years. Also, Sam had suggested this game, saying, unquestionably the most messed up game I've ever played. It's just a stick moving endlessly in circles and you move through a maze. Thank you both for suggesting this game. I think Guardian had requested that we play it in person, but we had tried that when I was there and it just like wasn't working. So,
is that game?
It was one of them, yeah.
Gotcha.
So I hope that this is acceptable in place of that one. But yeah, I had literally never heard of this game. Had you heard of this?
No, never once. And like the the box art for the game tells you nothing. Absolutely zero
nothing, yeah.
About what this game is going to be.
The title is nothing. The box art shows you a stick moving and you're like, I don't know what to make of this.
I thought it was going to be like a Wheel of Fortune type game or something, like a quiz show or something. That was what I was guessing.
Yeah, no, I think, and I'll talk about this in the hot stats, but like, I think that we didn't get a release for this because it released in Japan and PAL, the phase alternating line, and maybe that is us. No, and I don't fucking. But usually there's a North American release and that's not listed here, so I don't know if we even got it. So, and again, the 2 sequels were Japan only. So the first time we saw it, I think, was the Wii U Virtual Console. So like, it was not something that I think Americans were like even familiar with a little bit. But yeah, let me hit you with some hot stats about this one, David.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Hot stats.
So Kuru Kuru Kururin came out March 21st of 2001 in Japan for the Game Boy Advanced. And this was made by a company called Eighting, which has made most of the Bloody Roar fighting games and then like a bunch of anime tie-in games. Like they had like a Full Metal Alchemist game, a Bleach game, a Naruto game, which I will say, after having recently read, just a little mini manga minute, after having recently read the Full Metal Alchemist, making a game out of it is a very bizarre decision. That seems like so not what the series is about. Like,
yeah.
I know it kind of comes off as like shonen, but like it's so not that like
it's shonen in disguise.
Yeah, I don't think it really suits being a video game made out of it. So I don't know what's going on there. And they also helped develop Pikmin 4, which I think is very fun. I do have a review from the outlet Pocket Magazine, David. I took their review. I ran it through Google Translate a number of times, one language into another, to mangle it up and get a little artist interpretation of it, which I will read for you now, David.
Let's hear it.
The game is divided into around 30 levels, and the game is divided into 30 levels. The problem is getting worse. There are ways to manage time and knowledge filled with unnecessary chatter, nothing more.
Wow.
But the gameplay is so good that you will come back to it again and again and again. Additionally, the images are sharp and colorful, and the images are noticeable. Clear sound. This is the new hard drugs. And they gave that a 10 out of 10. They loved it.
Wow. I mean, yeah, if you call it the new hard drugs, you have to give it a 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, they were big fans, the Pocket Magazine.
That was a very serious review.
Very repetitive
serious.
too. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Could you tell me what this game is, David?
I will try.
Sort of, yeah.
Kuru Kuru Kururin is a spatial puzzle game, really, where you are, I don't even know who you are. You are a little bird thing that is piloting the world's silliest flying machine, which is just a stick that circles around in a circle as you move through a level. And the level is very narrow, and in spots you have to wait for the stick to essentially rotate in the correct way for you to make tight turns and corners. And sometimes you have to hit a spring to make the stick rotate in the other direction so you get around a different corner or turn that you wouldn't be able to if it was rotating clockwise or counterclockwise. So it's all top-down puzzles where you're just trying to get through this level as this silly little airship helicopter thing rotating around, trying to make sharp turns and crazy narrow passes through this level to rescue your family. Is it your family or is it someone else's family? You're rescuing other little bird creatures like you.
There is a story, which
there is a story. Yeah. So
I think you're looking for Kururin's brother and sister.
Okay. I think it's multiple. It's a lot. That mom loses a lot of children at the beginning of the game. They just run away. So you're also keeping an eye out for them in these levels, and they'll grab onto your little spinny stick wing and just make it through to the end with you. So yeah, you also try to get through as fast as possible in the levels. You can do the level as slowly as you want to just progress through the game, but there is a time trial element to it of just like perfecting your run through the level, which is very fun.
Yeah, it's I've literally never played a game like this.
This is one of one. This is one of one. Yeah.
It is so bizarre, and like it's I think a very fun kind of game where like you get it immediately. Like the stakes of what is happening in the game couldn't be more clear. You know, like you're a spinning stick, you have to move, and sometimes the passages are hard in a way where you have to like there's only one time during the rotation of the stick that you can get through there.
Oh, and it's like Operation. If you hit the sides with your stick, you lose a life. You only have 3 hits of the sides. And then once you hit those, you just shatter into a million pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. And, but it's very fun in the sense that the first couple levels, I'm like, I'm a fucking god at this video game. I am so good at this video game. And then there's like a point where it's like, no, you are not.
It takes the gloves off at a certain point and just demolishes you.
It's so fucked up. Like it's such a challenging game. And like, it's almost more insulting than like a Dark Souls when they kill you in a bizarre way. Cause like there is an answer. It's not like you just like aren't clever enough to do it. Like you just have to do the fucking thing. Like you can see it. You can see what the problem is.
We played this both on the Wii U, not the Wii U, the Switch Virtual Console.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was hard with Control Stick, but this launched on the Game Boy Advance. So I don't know how frustrating this game must have been with just a D-pad and that's it, trying to get through.
I have no idea how that was manageable in the slightest.
I'm just like, is that easier or harder than how it was, than how we experienced it? Maybe we had too much freedom.
Too much control. Yeah.
Too much control.
I don't know. I think it probably would have still been incredibly challenging.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, like I haven't said it yet. I really like this game. It's very good.
It's a lot of fun, actually. Yeah, I agree.
Like, you think it would be so stupid and like so ridiculous. And in a way it is, but like I'm playing through it and I'm just like, I gotta keep crushing these levels, man. There's no other option for me right now.
Absolutely.
Especially the ones where it's like it starts to get so complicated where you're like going up one hallway and at the end of it you have to hit a spring to then like start rotating the other way. There's no safe space in between there. And you just have to like keep doing it. It's so much fun. And the levels are so short that like any amount of progress that is dashed by you dying is not that bad. Like it's really not that
and
terrible.
It's short load times. You get back into the game very fast, which is great. Trial and error is part of the game. It's built in.
Yeah, for sure. I can only imagine how nuts the multiplayer is with this game because like it's just so stressful on its own that I can imagine like you trying to just be a little bit quicker than somebody else is outrageously fun.
Yeah, doing time trials with a bunch of friends would be so stressful. I would be sweating doing this with friends. It'd be like when we played Assetto Corsa and we were trying to do time trials. I feel like it would be a similar sort of experience of just such a frustrating but clear thing that I need to be doing. And it's just the finesse with which I complete it that is just keeping me from glory.
Yeah, it's the experience of like going around a corner in this game is also just like so thrilling in a way, because like you'll be able to see like my stick is getting closer to the wall as I'm rotating through this corner. Did I not do it fast enough or something? Mm-hmm. And it's this like slow, like nail biting, teeth grinding sort of thing where it's like, I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I have to commit and keep trying to go through this like little passage. Because if you stop, you're for sure not going to get through it because it's always rotating. The stick is always rotating. And so like you have to try. And so it can just be so nerve wracking in a good way where it's like, I don't know if I'm going to get through here. And like, maybe I'm already fucked, but I'm going to keep trying to like press on through this horrible hallway.
It is also pretty funny when you fuck up just so bad because things can go from good to bad in a fucking instant. You're just like chilling along, going along. You have 3 hearts, and then all of a sudden you just get into a bad situation and it just goes. You just hit the sides of the level 3 times in a row and you blow up and you're just done. Also, the character that you're flying around as, he has a little like first person like live cam of him in his cockpit while you're going through the level, kind of like Star Fox. And the boy is sweating when he gets down to 1 heart. He is terrified. It really puts some stakes on the game when you see that.
Yeah, Kururin is like, he's got the fear of God in him when things are going badly.
Is his name Kururin?
I think so.
Is he Kururin? Okay.
Yeah, because the plot says the story begins when Kururin's brothers and sisters go missing. So I think that's the Birdman is Kururin.
Kururin is the Birdman.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick. Can we talk about the gorilla? Did you see the gorilla?
I don't know if I saw the gorilla.
And how this boy was moving.
Okay, hold on.
How this boy was absolutely moving.
I don't think I saw the gorilla.
Yes. Just the way that it moves. Like, there are a lot of animals in this game, but none are animated like this gorilla. Do you see him? Do you see him jumping and bouncing that thing?
No, I'm scrubbing through the video right now. I'm trying to find him.
Go to the most intense, chill game you've never heard of and go to 46 seconds.
I see him.
See him moving that thing?
Yeah, he's like his back and his front are animated in like different cycles.
Nothing else in this game, no other animal, like background animal in this game is animated as lovingly as this gorilla is. There is a fluidity to which this gorilla moves that is entrancing.
Yeah, they put a lot into it. Wow, that's really impressive. I like this gorilla.
It's a good gorilla. That's all I wanted to point out was that the gorilla is good.
Yeah, we get the Podtimism seal of approval. Good monkey in this one.
Yes, got a good monkey.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal game. I'm like shocked by that. It is so simple and so stupid and like seemingly very frustrating, but like is Dark Souls levels of punishing, maybe more, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
It is so hard, but in a way that I really like. It is like over the top challenging in a way that I like really, really enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm always a sucker for just a spatial reasoning game in general. Like all of the games that had to do with spatial reasoning on the UFO 50 were probably some of my favorites.
Yeah.
And this feels like it's straight from UFO 50.
It really does. Yeah. This could absolutely be a UFO 50 game.
Just so simple and so elegant.
Yeah, it is just like one idea taken so far. And like, I don't know how long this game is, but I was in no shortage of levels in this thing.
No, they just keep coming. And the nice thing about it is that like all you have to do is just beat the level to advance. You don't have to do it in a certain amount of time. That's just for you to go back and just, replayability, baby. And it's a good version of replayability because when you are going quick and you are hitting those turns like you're a pro, it feels good. It feels good when you are just like millimeters away from the edge and you're just threading the needle and not stopping. It is a nice feeling when you get this stick sticking.
Yeah, it's true. It's so bizarre. It's like I'm trying to find like a metaphor or just like a comparison to make of this game, and I have nothing because it's so nuts for a game that is about a spinning stick.
Yeah, I think it's able to get you to activate a flow state very well because it is so simple and just the stakes are so clear about what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it feels like what reading music feels like to me sometimes, where it's like I have to completely clear my mind to be able to like focus on this enough.
Yeah.
to play it, but like when I'm there and I am reading it very quickly, it's like my brain is attached to the actual reading thing and my hands are doing what I'm like asking them to do, but there's like a byproduct of those things, which is the music. And in this case, it's the sweet, sweet victory.
Yeah.
Because like I can see what I need to do. It's very rare in this game that I'm like, I don't know what to do in this like hallway. Maybe you have to look at it for a second, but like most of the time there's really only one option, you know? Cause like
full send, that's the option.
Yeah. Like you just gotta go most of the time.
Gotta go. Yep.
And so in a way, it's like you're just trying to like take in the visuals of it and just like respond to what you're seeing, you know, in the way that like reading music, it's like, or Guitar Hero even, where you're just seeing instructions for what to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then you have to just like kind of respond to it. It's so wild. I really like it. I think this game is very good.
It's a very well-made game. It's incredible. Really, just how simple and fun it is. I would recommend it to anyone who enjoys a good puzzle game, honestly, or even a good like racing game, because you can play it as a racing game, honestly.
It defies genre in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like any one genre doesn't seem correct, but they all have a little bit of it in there.
This is a Kururin, the first Kururin like.
It's true. I think the comparison to UFO 50 is really apt. Like it feels like it's right at home among those games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would not blink an eye if this was on UFO 50 at all.
No.
Like, yeah, no, this checks out.
I definitely need the UFO 50 take on this game. Like, what is there this game but this as well?
Whoa.
You know, I'd really love that. That'd be cool.
Well, what would you combine this game with? What other game? UFO 50 game or otherwise?
Like a bullet hell or something, maybe. Like
Gradius?
Yes, yeah. This and Gradius. You can.
Man, that would maybe be the most frustrating game I've ever played in my life.
You would need to make it like this, where there's only one way through the bullets.
Sure.
And so like you just have to pay attention to where the like void of the circle is in the bullet hell.
And you'd have to be able to have the ability to change the direction of your spin whenever you wanted to, kind of like Ikaruga.
I was trying to reach for what the name of that game was. Yeah, very Ikaruga. Very cool.
That'd be cool. That could be cool. So it's like Kuru Kuru Kururin has its mid-aughts edgy turn with this game.
Yeah, the Kururin within.
He's got an emo haircut now.
Yeah, sure. Just like the side swoop black hair. I love that.
He's just listening to Linkin Park the whole time.
Goodness. I wish I had so much to say about this game, but it is so stupid simple that like, even by trying to describe it, I know that I am not doing it justice. So like you listener, if you're in front of a computer or a Switch, like just play it now. Because it's like, if we sat here and tried to be like, okay, so here's the cool part about Tetris or like Mr. Driller or Dig Dug or something. It's like,
here's my favorite thing about breathing.
Yes, exactly. It's like, I don't know. It's nourishing in a way that I don't know how to describe. What a bizarre game, but also very good.
Very good.
Do you have anything else you want to say about it?
I do not. I had a lot of fun with this game, a lot more fun than I thought, and I was cursing. I was getting into this game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's thrilling. And yeah, just like every time I die, I was like not expecting it because I was like, I'm good. Oh fuck. And then died.
There's something very engaging about it.
Good game. Guardian and Sam, thank you for suggesting this one. It was very good.
Yeah, thank you. It's great. If you would like to interact with podcasts more, you can go to podtimism.com. There you can look at old episodes that we have done. You can search for games that we have talked about in the past. You can look at podcast art that Chase has made or thumbnail art that Chase has made. And then also you can go there and suggest a game for us to play in the future. We will get to it eventually. We got a lot on the backlog, but we're making our way down, moving fast to Yep, you got it. Through all those suggestions. So yeah, thank you, and keep them coming. It's great.
Yeah.
Also on our website, you can find a link to the Worst Garbage Podcast Network Discord, where we are a part of this network, and we have a little spot there, so you can go over there and just talk to other pod heads about our podcast and other things, and just kind of generally have a good time and vibe out over there. Yeah, it's a great podcast network. Check out the other podcasts such as Can't Let It Go, Dot Zip, Frog of the Week, Girl Mode, Into the Acer, Paws and Claws, Next Portable Console, that's a new one, right? And Any
for
Percent,
the most part, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you got it.
Check them out. They're all great.
Check them out. They're all great.
They're all great. Thank you to Scott Wilkinson for our podcast art. It's great. If you want to check out more of her art, you can go to co-fi.com/humblegoat and see what's good. And lastly, thank you, dear listener, for being here. This is great. We love this. This is a fun time for us every week. We look forward to it. So it's cool that other people do as well and want to spend time listening to us yammer on and on about casual butts, business casual butts and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Also, shout out to Lex, who did I would say a rendition of Business Casual Butt commercial in the Discord as well.
Very funny. That was good.
Extremely funny. Thank you, Lex.
Junk in the trunk drawer. It's a thing.
Yeah, it is. Why not? Treat yourself.
Live live just one iota and put on your going out ass, because we're going out.
We're going out. Yeah, I agree. Dave. Also, yes, thank you for listening. We really appreciate you.
Yeah. Chase, do you have any video game wisdom for us this week?
I've been sitting here trying to cook, and I got so little, David. The whole time you're doing the outro, I'm like, I got something. There's got to be something.
Chase was stressing over there.
Just like, so I usually do it off the dome and just kind of like riff, but like this time I'm like, let me come up with something special. And what that led to was nothing. So
it never works for me either. I'm like, I'm going to do something good, and then just nothing comes. Nothing ever comes.
So maybe the move is trust. Maybe the wisdom is trust your instinct.
Ooh, trust your guts.
Trust your guts. Your guts never lie.
We'll say that. Maybe sometimes they're not correct, but they probably don't ever lie.
You should fact check your guts for sure. But like, I started a new probiotic recently, David.
Ooh, is this your microbiome talking right now? Trust your gut. We are superior.
Feed more microbiome, please. I need that good probiotic and a healthy dose of yogurt.
The myconids are taking over.
Please, bro, let us just stink up the house even more than we already do. Maybe okay, here's the real wisdom. Trust your gut, but fact check it. Make sure you're good, you know?
Fact check your gut.
Fact check your gut. I will say, as a person with anxiety, my gut is usually a little haywire sometimes. Like, it's telling me, you know what, dude? I got a bad feeling about this specific day for some reason. And like, there's no evidence per se, you know?
Yeah.
If you're in like you're out or something like that, and you're like, the vibe is kind of weird here, and like the people are acting a little nutty, you know, maybe trust that gut.
Maybe.
But the one that's like, it is April 14th. That just seems like something fucky's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm laying in my bed, and I'm just sure my heart's gonna stop any second now.
Yeah, fact check that gut, because that one's a real asshole.
Realize that the gut, it's trying to help you. It wants to help you. That's what it's trying to do in that situation, but it's just not. It's not doing it then.
Bro, there's a tiger in here. I promise. There's such a fucking tiger in this room.
I don't know how it would get here, or why it's here, or why it's coming after me, but it's here.
But I'm so sure this time it's for real. I promise you, dude.
Death is imminent, sir.
Please, bro. Please look.
Learn to put your gut on a shelf. You can appreciate your gut, but you can put it somewhere else where it's not attacking you.
Yeah. Or maybe here's the gaming wisdom. Make sure there's no tiger, and then trust that there's no tiger.
Sure enough. True enough.
This is all really bad wisdom for an episode where we talk about fucking Kuru Kuru Kururin, the most anxiety-inducing video game.
It's all bad when you're playing Kuru Kuru Kururin.
Yeah, my gut microbiome is blasted from playing Kuru Kuru Kururin. My gut-brain barrier is never going to be the same.
It's dead. It's toast. But the gorilla gives me life, baby.
That is true. All right. We'll see you next week, everybody.
All right. See ya.
Goodbye.
TWG, the worst garbage, online.